אומרים ישנה ארץ, ארץ שורת שמש, היה אותה ארץ, איפה אותה שמש, אומרים ישנה ארץ.
Here we are outside a cemetery, and again it's kind of weird that I would choose to do a cemetery, but the funny thing is so many of these street people that are all over Israel are buried in this cemetery. 1902, this is all sand dunes. We cleared them later. So in 1902, when yet another epidemic breaks out in Jaffa, a cholera epidemic, and the Turks, as it is, give permission to the Jews to bury far, far from the city in the sand dunes. They buy a plot of land, which turns out to be here. Herzl, just a few years before, what did he say? You may laugh when I say, today we founded a Jewish state. But in 50 years, and 50 years almost to the date, was Kaftet November, 29th of November 1947, when the partition voted for the state of Israel. Herzl just died. This was a terrible tragedy. He was only 44. He died in 1904. But Kiva Weiss said, we need something for Herzl. He says, let's build a new town. So the city of Tel Aviv is really founded, as much as anything else, to start that dream of Herzl's being real. You can see like shields on some of the graves. At the back there's another shield. Can you all see them? That means that these were the founders of Tel Aviv. Nordau was very famous in his own right as a Jewish writer in Europe. So he is very, very important. We know that Herzl isn't the first Zionist. He's the first one to put it into a different package and to say to others, yes, we want the land of Israel is ours. He's saying, let's make the land of Israel ours. The fact that Nordau agreed with Herzl gave Herzl the credibility. The first Congress, Herzl speaks first, Nordau speaks second. Nordau at the second conference calls for Muskeljuden. He himself is a rower. Before that they started Jewish sports clubs all over the world in Jewish communities, thanks to Nordau. Echad Ha'am wants a cultural place. Nordau has different ideas. If we think about it, both were right. A true Jew is everything. This is Bialik. We're going to meet him later on our tour, because we're going to go to Bialik Street and see from the outside Bialik House. Golem, he founded the Haganah. Tchernichovsky, a little bit about him. He was a doctor and this artist, writer, author. There is a story of him sitting in the cafe on Bialik Street, sort of writing. Well, in fact, everybody wrote things there. That's how they paid the bill. They wrote a poem, or they gave a little article. But it's sort of, he seemed to be here even more than usual. He said, well, I can't work at home. I don't have a table. I have to sell it. He was penniless because he was a lovely man, but the money just never stayed in his hands. He was the doctor for Neve Tzedek, which is the girls' school. Let's just say the girls loved him and leave it at that. Arlozorov in Tel Aviv commemorates the deed as well as the man, where he was assassinated. He became very involved with Zionism, and he was a bit of a firebrand, and he had stormy but a very nice affair with a young woman who wasn't Jewish but had Jewish connections. But in the end, he wanted to come to Israel, and that was something that she wasn't prepared to do, and they broke up. Arlozorov was here in Israel, or Palestine as it then was. This is the 1930s. He was sent to Germany to try and negotiate with the Nazis. I'm not saying we know, but there is a story. When Arlozorov was sent on his last visit to Germany, which was 2 days before he was assassinated, he saw a newspaper headline and saw his old girlfriend, Magda, featured because she was married to Goebbels. He made contact with her, thinking a friend in high places. Maybe she would help him. Initially, she agreed to meet him, And the next thing he got was a message. She couldn't meet him. She was leaving town, leaving the country. And he wrote to his sister, "I think I have made the worst mistake of my life." And 2 days later he came back to Israel and was assassinated. And people say that Goebbels, knowing that his wife had slept with a Jew, he had to get rid of him.
דבר בשבילנו אדוני